All right, so let's be honest. There are just some situations where our imposter monster just won't go away. You know those situations where you get really excited about doing something and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna present at this conference, or I'm gonna go for this promotion. And that pesky little monster, I always say it, like shows up on our shoulder and it just taps us and it's like, hey, are you sure about that? Are you sure you wanna do that? Are you sure you qualified for that? And even though I might be doing all the breathing and drinking ice water and checking my thoughts, like I just can't shake the feeling. And so I want to give you a few extra things to think about as we close this section and give you some things to work on for homework. You know, I think it's best started by sharing a quote from Michelle Obama. So she was on tour talking about her book, Becoming, which is amazing if you have not checked it out. And she was just talking about imposter syndrome. And you know how she was continually rising up in her corporate jobs and then went to work at the nonprofit sector. And then she was following Barack Obama around. And then all of a sudden now she's in the White House and she's in all these meetings with government officials. And she was quoted to the reporter as saying, she goes, I had so much imposter syndrome because for so long I was told I couldn't be in those rooms. But you know what? I've sat in corporate America. I've sat on corporate boards, on nonprofit boards. I've sat at the UN. You know what? They are not that smart. And I think that this is a really important point to remember because I want you to just pause quickly and think about how often have you put someone on a pedestal? Thinking that they know more than you, thinking that they're smarter than you. And so maybe because that person is in the room, you play a little smaller, maybe you stay a little quieter. Maybe when they articulate their idea, you diminish your own idea and think, oh yeah, they're right. They've been here for 12 years. They know what they're talking about. I lovingly call this pedestal syndrome. It's when we've put someone else on a pedestal thinking that they know better than us. When really, if you think about it, lots of times when I've done that and I've gotten to know the person, I'm like, oh, they're just human, just like me. And they don't always know all the answers, but sometimes when we're new or someone is new to us, we have a tendency to elevate others. And this was never more true than when I started my own coaching business. And I remember several years into my business having more senior executives come to my coaching, CEOs come to my coaching, business founders, popular members of government or the press. And I remember thinking, gosh, you know what? No one has it figured out. They all come to coaching needing help, just like the rest of us. So this is your permission to pull someone off the pedestal. Because I think what happens is we overestimate everyone else's intelligence and we underestimate our own. I'm gonna leave you with the final framework because one of the things that I often see is a lot of people think, well, I have to wait to feel confident before I can take action. And I actually wanna offer to you that the opposite is true, is that confidence is a side effect from taking action. So let's just talk about how this works. So when you get into your next situation, when you're feeling all the doubt and imposter feelings, I just want you to notice it. I just want you to notice it with a ton of compassion, using lots of that good body work that we talked about, breathing, drinking ice water, taking some nice, deep, compassionate, calming breaths. And then I just want you to name it. I want you to actually slow down, and if you're anything like me, I'm not super in tune with my feelings sometimes, so I have to put my hand over my heart and just ask, what am I feeling right now? Because I think sometimes that those imposter feelings can be like an umbrella feeling, and what we're really feeling underneath is doubt, overwhelm, insecurity, nervousness, worry, maybe a little twinge of excitement. And so when we can stop and name those feelings, it actually doesn't give them power. Because we have now a more emotional clarity, it actually takes their power away. It helps us go, oh, that's what I'm feeling. And these feelings are just data. And lots of times data just points us to what we really care about. In the case that I shared with you, when I have those feelings, it's like, oh, I care about making a helpful video. I care about delivering, a powerful presentation. I care about helping my client. So we're gonna notice it, we're gonna name it, then I just want you to normalize it. You know what, 70% of people report feeling imposter syndrome. All healthy people feel doubt, like I'm in good company, this is normal, this is normal, this is normal. This is normal when we push our comfort zones. I did an interview once with Indra Nooyi. She is the former CEO of PepsiCo. And one of the things that she admitted to was she says, oh, I felt nerves all the time, because she's constantly accelerating and pushing her comfort zone. And it was such a huge aha to me that even the world's most successful leaders always feel nerves and doubt. It's just that they've transformed their relationship with nerves and doubt. They feel it, and they continue to move forward anyhow. Notice it, name it, normalize it, and then I just want you to reframe it. You know, really thinking about those feelings and the sensations happening in your body. One of the things I love to tell myself is, this is what growth feels like. This means I'm stretching my comfort zone. One of the most inconvenient truths I often see with doubt and imposter syndrome is that today's goals become tomorrow's imposter feelings. You know, we make a goal today, I'm gonna apply and speak at that conference, or we make a goal today, I'm gonna apply for that job. And then when we get the job and we show up, then all the imposter feelings come, right? The goal comes due, we have to write the check. And so when we can plan for it and prepare for it, it helps us reframe it in the moment. Oh, this meant I stretched my comfort zone. I'm, living in alignment to my goals and values. I'm moving forward in the direction that I want. So we notice it, we name it, we normalize it, reframe it. And this is your homework and your takeaway for this section. We need to act on it. As you remember, I said confidence is a side effect of taking action. And so when we opened this video series, I talked to you a lot about but firsts. All the things that we needed to do before we could do something. Well, I want to give you 2 more empowering words, and that is while also. I can apply for that job while also feeling doubtful. I can give this presentation while also feeling nervous. I can have this hard conversation and set boundaries while also feeling uncertain of how it will all turn out. While also. So your homework is I want you to recognize that confidence is a side effect of taking action, and you can do the thing you want to do while also feeling all the feelings. So your homework is to take one small step. One small thing that pushes your comfort zone while also feeling the thing, whatever that thing is. And I want you to notice how maybe that produces a little bit more confidence for you. And it can be small. It can be negotiating your cable bill. It can be asking for a better table. Or it could be just setting a really small boundary at home and practicing there before you want to take it to work. And then your second piece of homework is I want you to start listing some evidence. I want you to either keep what my clients call a smile file or a career journal and just list some evidence in your career of successes that you've had, of compliments that you received, something that's going to help you remember what is actually true about you when your brain kind of goes into that automatic negative thinking bias. So take the homework, get into action. I'll be mentally there with you in spirit as we're feeling all of the doubt, and trust me, I'm sure that I will be feeling doubt and doing something while also feeling very nervous with you this week as well.